use even the airplane extender. So that's
Jesus.
where that comes in, and like the privilege levels of like what fat means to different people.
Cope harder. Oh my goodness. You guys ever seen the movie WALL-E? That is an exact physical representation of what is to come in the near future. Nobody in that room is under 300 pounds talking about the privilege it is to fit in an airplane seat. How about the privilege it is to overconsume on calories? You guys aren't getting anywhere talking about how oppressed you are, thinking you're marginalized. No, you're just not in a calorie deficit. Like, come on, you guys put yourself in these boxes thinking you need some sort of movement. No, you need movement. Cope harder, because gravity is still going to win at the end of the day.
Oh my God, bro, this guy just went in, huh?
Based on what level of privilege you have in the world. Someone in a small fat category may not struggle getting on an airplane, but someone in a mid fat or super fat
a super fat. I love the super fat category, bro. No food stamps for fatties starting on November 1st. Well, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna find a way to get the food stamps to work. I will be shocked if the food stamps actually get canceled. I sure hope not. Yeah, has that ever happened before, that food stamps stopped working? No, the SNAP program, formerly known as food stamps, has never been fully stopped or suspended nationwide since 1964. So it could actually be no job. This is, I think this is a big problem. I do. This is, and the big issue with this is very simple. The cutoff for food stamps should be at a higher income ratio. So basically, if you're getting food stamps right now, you basically have to be broke. But if you're broke, you can get a bunch of food. You can get a ton of fucking food. The problem is that the only people that are able to get this are broke as shit, and maybe this many poor people, right? So maybe this many poor people are able to get food stamps. And what I think they should do, this is the problem, because there's a lot of, in my opinion, there's a lot of, like, what's the best way for me to say this? There's a lot of class-friendly fire here, okay? And the reason why, like, for example, like the person making $20,000 getting food stamps isn't your enemy when you're making $45,000 not getting food stamps. Your enemy is the billionaires spending $45,000 a day on bullshit. Those are your real enemies. Those are the people that are taking your fucking money. Those are the people that need to be taxed. And that's the issue. And so what needs to happen is they need to take the food stamps and they need to increase the threshold for food stamps to here and here, and maybe even here. Because really, yeah, if you're doing well, you don't need food stamps. But the problem is whenever you make the middle class hate the working class, or you make the upper working class hate the lower class, what ends up happening is that you have this class warfare, while at the same time, you have all of these rich people making billions of dollars. We're spending literally $1 trillion on the military. We're spending $1 trillion on the military. And yeah, okay, every 3 days, we blow up a boat in Venezuela. Great. I feel like I think we need a little bit more than that. Right? We need a little bit more than that. Use food stamps? Yeah, I used to use food stamps. I did. And so, actually a good take, yes. And so, in my opinion, this is what I think they should do. People might not like this. I think they should raise taxes on people that make a lot of money.
But it does help.
I think there should probably be 2 additional tax brackets above the what is it now, like 400 or something like that, tax brackets. There should be 2 additional tax brackets above that. So, because again, inflation, like you need to have a tax bracket for people that are making, let's say, over $5 million a year. Then you should probably have an additional tax bracket for people that are making over $30 million a year, right? And if you were able to do that, you would capture so much more revenue, and you would be able to pay for more stuff. And socialism? What do you mean? The taxes right now by that definition are socialism.
30 seconds.
What do you mean? We already
attack.
have it by your definition. What a stupid thing to say. So 90% of taxes cause war. I'm not saying it should be 90%. I'm just saying it should be more than what it is now. And I think this is my outlook, okay? If you're making $20 million a year, you can afford to chip in a little bit extra. Because the only reason why you don't need to have armed security all around your fucking house and people aren't coming into your house and killing you is because this isn't there's not a Ugandan warlord who's showing up to try to kill you and take all your stuff. is because you live in this country. And if you live in this country, and this country allows you to protect and generate the wealth of $20, $30, $50 million a year, you're goddamn right. I think you got to chip in a little bit more. That's right. I think you do. And I think if you're a company, the same fucking thing. That's the real problem. So when all I hear is food stamp bullshit, and it's like, oh yeah, no, this person isn't your fucking enemy. The person who advocated for this is your fucking enemy. That's it. That's the real problem. Then I know some people might not want to hear this because it might, it sounds like the bad word, socialism. We have Social Security. Last time I checked, I think that's pretty good. We have a lot of social programs that are positive. Looking at anything that has any sort of wealth redistribution and then automatically categorizing that as bad is the most retarded and lazy way of thinking about things that you can possibly have. Obviously, it's retarded that you have people that are making enough money and they're making just enough money to get by, but at the same time, they can't afford fucking food. And it's ridiculous that people that are making no money can fill up their entire shopping cart with cheese balls. Like, I mean, really? Like, this is a clown world. It's a clown world. What is going on here? This would be solved better by reducing tax on income for lower income jobs rather than giving the government more agency on how much you get. Lower taxes on low income jobs. Well, a lot of people get tax refunds. I mean, I think that definitely you could look at that. I mean, so I'm not against what you're saying, but I think that you should approach it with like 3 different directions, right?
How nice.
So yeah, you used to be in it. Exactly. And I was buying cheese balls. I was buying cheese balls. I know this better than almost anybody. A lot of these, like, quote, socialists, or a lot of these, like, you know, commentators on the internet, they've never been on food stamps before. They don't actually know what this is like. They have no idea. We used to be on food stamps. We used to be on these supplemental assistance programs. We used to have the medical fucking assistance program. We used to have this. We couldn't even afford heat in the fucking, in the winter, right? And so, like, really, we were poor. Now, could it have been a lot worse? Yeah, it could have been a lot worse. And it wasn't, which was great. But the fact is that, you know, I remember what these benefits did for me, and I'm never going to roach out on the people for these benefits. I'm never going to say, oh, and I'm even going to go a step farther. I think it's okay if they want to buy cookies with food stamps, because in my opinion,
I feel better already.
cookies, man. Let a person have a little bit of dignity.
The other team is extracting those resources.
Let them have a little bit of fucking dignity.
Probably head to
They want to buy cookies and fast food. Why make them live like that? You don't have a choice. Yeah, let them have a little bit of... This is America. This is the richest country in the world. Let them buy the fucking cookies. It's all right. We've got enough cookies to go around.
Born anew.
We do.
got competition.
There's no reason we got to be rationing out
More
cookies.
resources.
That's what I think. Somebody wants to be fat, they need to do better, not the richest. Well, yeah, I think so. I do. I think so. That's where I'm at. We don't need cookies. Yeah, there's a lot of things you don't need, but you want them because it makes you feel good. It makes you happy.
I feel better already.
And feeling good and being happy, I think that's nice. And I want to have a world where that happens. I don't want people to live like fucking slaves. There's no reason for that. No justification for that at all. You got so much money. This is the wealthiest country in the world by a mile. Junk food is a privilege. You're goddamn right it is. You're goddamn right it is. And you know what else is a privilege? Being a fucking American. And that's why I want to have both. That's right. And I used to buy it, and I'm never gonna go back on that because I did it myself. I did it myself, and it made me feel good, and I enjoyed it, and made me happy. I know how it made me feel, and I want to make sure other people have the same thing. It's literally that simple. So yeah, and not all Americans are equal. No, of course not, but the law should treat them that way. And that's the difference, right? And so anyway, you got a lot of people...
You've stockpiled half the resources you need to win.
What is it?
Got these standing in front of the stores and the Good Samaritans and all of that. When November 1st comes, and if they don't uplift this shutdown for these SNAP benefits, I'm going to need y'all to mind y'all business. Please mind y'all business.
They're going to try and run out with the food.
Those people, they trying to feed their kids, and
they're going to run out.
They trying to go home and just feed their kids. And I would...
Yeah.
I would hate for you to not be able to make this back to your family. and for you to not be able to make it back home because you're trying to save these billionaire companies. You hear me?
No, that's not the way to look at it. You can't steal out of the store. You can't steal out of the store. Because if everybody's stealing out of the store shuts down, and then all the people that are working at that store in the community are going to die. Like, a store can't work if everybody just walks out without paying for the food. Like, I mean, really, what are we talking about, right? Like, there's food deserts. There's all kinds of examples of this.
Of their funds when they actually have insurance on every box of macaroni in it.
The insurance, this is the insurance. They think that, bro, the insurance grows on the insurance tree. See, this is the kind of shit, guys, I gotta tell y'all. This is the reason why we gotta cut Algebra 2 out of the curriculum. And we gotta put in, instead of Algebra 2, we have to put in basic financial literacy. Understanding what insurance is, understanding a 1040 tax form, understanding statistics, understanding averages, understanding these things, and both, that's fine. Y'all want to say, I can compromise Algebra 2 and then basic financial literacy, but one way or another, you do not need to be graduating from high school if you can't fucking figure out what insurance is, okay? You can't. It's a problem.
So,
it's a big problem.
Just mind your business and go on. And if you gonna be a good Samaritan, and you gonna stand there and you gonna pay and you gonna do all of that, do your part.
Hello, darling.
Do your part. But for those that are out there trying to do what the fuck they gotta do, please leave them people alone and let them take that food back to their kids. Let them take that meal back to their kids. Let them feed their kids. Let them feed their husbands and their fathers and their mothers and all that shit. Don't have nothing.
I just realized that we're going to have so many videos in a couple of days of people trying to capture and stop people from running out of the store with bags full of food. If Snap gets shut down, there are going to be people trying to run out of the store with bags full of food. And I guarantee you that, like, you're going to have all of these live streamers. They're going to have, like, nets and, you know, like, different things to, like, get them with. Like, bro, oh my God, it's going to be madness? Yeah. Can you imagine this? Yeah, like, literally camping.
Thing to do with you, because when all this shit is over.
Yeah.
When all this shit is over.
Yeah.
You either will be here or you won't. I'ma just say that. Either you gonna make it out or you won't.
Yeah, that's a great way to do things. Shoot the people that are trying to stop you from stealing things from the store.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
What do you think happens after that?
You don't have to be a witch to find the
then you go to jail.
But
and
then
who's gonna feed your kids? These people cannot think more than like 5 seconds in front of them. Obviously, that's what's gonna happen. It's so stupid.
Because people are not gonna let you come in between their kids' next meal. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure it out. Just mind your business. Don't get to taking pictures.
It will be the Hunger Games. It will be straight up.
Phones away. Put the fucking phones away. What are you recording?
Get ready.
So what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to let their kids just...
The mighty magneto.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, the content in like, what is it going to be in like 2 days? Oh my God. Because you know all this, every trashy live streamer is going to be out there trying to capture these people like Pokemon.
The battle starts in 5.
There's going to be like some fat lady running out there with a fucking grocery cart full of Crisco, lard, and Reese's peanut butter cups. And there's going to be like 5 live streamers. No, you get back here. Get back here, Karen. You didn't pay for that. Trying to run her down. Yeah, Tyler Oliveira. No, police. Over here, we got one.
Gonna go on they supposed to just let their kids just go without?
Yeah.
Because the government is having a kindergarten argument. Get the fuck up out of here. Like, mind your business. Do what you do.
Yeah.
And go home. And lock your door.
Who is supposed
Because you're about to see the police come out of a lot of people that people that didn't even know that.
And she's right about this. And I always wonder myself, it's like, is this because if this happens and people do actually go ape shit, well, everybody's just going to want the police to arrest them all. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen. Because the moment that they start breaking into the stores, they start stealing things, going to people's houses, everybody's going to say, bring in the National Guard, bring in the military, bring in the militarized police. This is a PvP event, and we didn't sign up to be on a PvP server. We need to have some rules here. That's the plan. So maybe the plan. So this is Trump. Is this JD Vance and Stephen Miller's 300 IQ plan to put all of the poor people in jail?
You have made your father proud, Wanda, my dear.
Stephen Miller cooked this one up, huh? Is that it?
They have that intimate, they do not fix this. You will see a side out of people that you didn't, you'll be like, damn, I don't even know that person. Yeah, get the fuck.
Of course, people are gonna be upset.
Out they way and let them do what they
Yeah,
got
I mean,
to do.
you're right.
All I'm saying is,
Sure.
this is bigger than the program. This is bigger than all of
The
that.
stupid plan then? No, you'd be surprised. Like, if people start crashing out and start stealing things out of the stores, and then the stores close, and like this stuff happens, absolutely. Like, you're going to see police officers outside of Walmart with guns. Like, we already have that here. Like, if you're in Austin, you know this. Like, you know you know the ghetto Walmart. If you're in Austin, you know the ghetto Walmart. That's the Walmart I go to. There are like 2 police cars outside of that Walmart every day, all day, every night, all night. That's it. And there's going to be even more people there. We have a Hispanic Walmart. I'm in Austin. Yeah, and y'all know it. It's the one off I-35. And that place is fucking... There's dirt on the floor, bro. Like, they are ready. Like, one time I saw a guy try and steal broccoli. He tried to walk out with a bag of broccoli. And they said, where's the thing? He says, I got one. He takes the broccoli. I never forget this. He takes that bag, bro. He goes, fucking throws the broccoli on the wall. And they tackle him. They get him down there, bro. They said, you are not walking out there with with that broccoli, bro. It's not going to happen. And so, yeah. So fatigued. Yeah, exactly. And so, anyway, then we get S-Fan to tailgate the Walmart in the first. You know what's funny? I actually met S-Fan at that Walmart. I did. Funny story. Ironic story. You bring up S-Fan. I actually met him for the first time. We met at that Walmart. Yeah.
And people are going to be loyal
Maximum
to where they be loyal to who you are out here trying to do right. When most of y'all that will be trying to have not been don't try to work because it ain't your top.
Oh,
That's
boy.
all I'm going to say.
Anybody going and saying this stuff, it is just...
People think like it's a theory or a premise that the federal government should be funding anybody's SNAP benefits. I genuinely think that 90 to 95% of the people who receive these benefits can go out and get a job or find some way to provide for themselves. And you can pull up as many statistics as you want. Just because somebody checks a box that says that they're incapable of providing for themselves doesn't mean that they actually are. And we need to start calling out this behavior more when we see it. Second thing is, everybody always says, oh, what do you do with the supposed 5 to 10% of people that you claim actually need these benefits? Do you just pick them to the side of the street?
You turn them into batteries to power the Neos so they can work in the houses.
Absolutely not. We have plenty of churches and organizations that do not pay taxes specifically so that they can help these marginalized individuals and these communities that actually do need this assistance, and that 100% needs to be their responsibility. I've said in multiple videos that helping people should not be the job of the federal government. Every time
I disagree. I think government should do that. 100%.
talk to liberals or Democrats, she's first stated that the Biden administration that Kamala Harris wanted to do, like universal health care and all of these different programs to help marginalized communities, and that comes from taxes.
Listen, bro, you don't put this shit on me, right? The last place I'm going to trust is the Catholic Church. I was raised Roman Catholic, but I ain't going to trust them for shit.
I am ready to put on a show.
You cannot trust the church. A church is not accountable. It can't be voted on.
Maximum pulse!
You are not going to
I understand her perspective. I see where she's coming from. I just don't think it works effective. That's all.
keep taxing me to fund all of these things for these other people. And I'm not saying that they're not needs, but give those needs to the church. Start holding the church accountable for the things that they're supposed to be doing.
I don't want that. That sounds like a fucking that's a can of worms, brother. That's a can of worms. Uh-oh. So people talking about robbing the stores. Is this wait really?
It's funny, people are talking about robbing grocery stores because they're not getting their SNAP benefits. But if you're physically able to go rob a store,
no,
and you're physically able to go get a job.
Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh. You really had to do him like that? Oh my God. Yeah, he's doing it. Yeah, I guess so. Just said it. Yeah, the J word. Well, usually that meant something else. But yeah, let's see here. It said no illegal immigrants are receiving benefits. Investigation into this. I don't trust his word on it. I think that illegal immigrants are receiving SNAP benefits, but I don't think they're receiving SNAP benefits necessarily knowing that they are illegal immigrants. I think that a lot of illegal immigrants are using fake identities or stolen identities and claiming the benefits for themselves that should be going to a actual American citizen. That's what I think is actually happening, right? Or they're using a friend's identity or something like that. So it's like, it's one of those things that's true and not true. So yeah, it's that simple. Witcher 3 music, fuck yeah, you goddamn right. No, in other social, yeah, you got other ones too. Anchor babies, oh yeah, you got that too as well. I lived illegally in NC for 4 years and received all benefits. Okay, number one, self-report. So, do they just give you the food stamps or what? No, because I want to know. I'm kind of, I don't live there anymore. Yeah, but like at the time, like did you just file the paperwork and say like, hey, this is my name and I just want free food? You can't spell it? I believe him. Yeah, maybe you're right, huh? Illegals be illegal. Yeah, I guess so, right? I'm in Brazil now. I got an individual tax number. IT number is individual tax number. So let me get this straight. So you were living there illegally. They gave you an ITIN number, and individual tax identification number. By the way, that's the term they use. And
maximum
we were just giving you free food. Is this real? And they offered all.
Only 60 seconds left.
Why'd you leave?
We're running out of time.
I feel like you had it made here, man. Why'd you
By
leave?
the eye of Agamotto.
Arizona, yeah. Why'd you leave? You just need to fill some papers, then some other shit, and they gave you everything.
Healing tower.
My big old soul.
Some assistance, please.
Fake as fuck? No, look it up. My dad worked in this department, and no, they would do this all the time. And he regularly would go. My dad basically learned partial Spanish because so many of these people would fill out documents in Spanish. Yeah. 4 years ago was under Biden. Keep taking advantage of. Yeah, why'd you leave? My dad was sick or fucking based, bro. Absolutely fucking based, Brazilian. There we go. Oh my God. And so, W leave, yeah. And yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, let this guy back in. So there we go, guys. That's the way it really is, huh? How about that? Yeah, ABC always be cheating, exactly. And
42 million people losing their SNAP benefits come November 1st. And then when I look at the numbers of the amount of people and where they're from, I'm going to say this is a much needed process. Because you're telling me, of the 42 million people, only like 30% of that 42 million are actually Americans, and I mean 30% of the 42 million are actually Americans who were born here, who are disabled, who are veterans, who are actually people who literally and actually need this assistance. Because if I'm looking at this report that says 51% of the total number of people that are receiving these SNAP benefits are purely because of their religious beliefs. Meaning these people are Muslims or from the
why would being a Muslim mean you get food stamps? What?
Islamic religion, Islamic countries.
No.
They're from Pakistan, Afghanistan, Somalia, these places. And they're receiving these benefits purely because, for one, their women aren't allowed to work. Their women aren't allowed to have multiple children.
No way.
They are 100% supposed to be home to cherish and nurture their children. Their husbands.
I'm sorry, this is too much. There's no. Okay. What percentage of American of benefit at many areas of SNAP food stamps are American citizens? 95.6%.
You have one task, my fist.
I feel like that's as born Americans, but I mean, if they were born somewhere else and they're an American citizen, they're still an American citizen. That's for 2023. I feel like there's no way, bro. Like this is
are allowed to have multiple wives, and with those multiple wives having multiple children, they're getting multiple thousands of dollars per month. And if you think about it, it makes total sense why the Americans that are getting the pocket change, who are not having kids, and even if they're having kids, they got like 2-3 kids, and then their 2-3 kids are disabled, right? And then they're the ones making all the noise because they're getting pocket change when these people from the Islamic countries are getting thousands and thousands of dollars, and they're in a household with 3 other women that are filing for these benefits.
I gotta convert to Islam. This sounds pretty good.
As head of the household. So in the one house, there are 4 wives getting like 4 or 5 grand a pop.
No way,
they
bro.
have
Like,
like
there's
4
no
or 5
way.
kids
This is the place to
a
watch.
pop,
This is
right?
the place to
And
Read
their
the comments on the
husbands are
video.
just
I
going
will.
out to
I will.
these meetings
There's no
to try
way.
to convert more people. But at the end of the day,
This is the
they're
place to
getting
watch.
like $15,000-$20,000
There's
a month
no way.
for the one household. And who knows how many bank accounts they have.
No way.
No wonder when I see these people going out on vacation,
No.
they're just
It's gotta
so
be bullshit.
comfortable. And it's like irritating, but at the end of the day, this shit needs to stop. Because a lot of these people came here, right? They came here seeking better, but then they came here to live the same way and the same rules, live by the same rules that made
Well, I get the fuck shit better now. You come over here and want a bunch of free fucking food, get the hell out of here.
turn into shit in the first place. And it's not just the Islamic people, because there are a lot that are from the Caribbean, who are doing the same shit.
Nah, I don't believe
and like I said, it is wild because they came here to see better, but their version of better is to come here and lay up under these roofs and make babies and live off of hard work.
No way.
The crazy part is the loud ones are the ones benefit or get the least of the benefits that are being handed out.
No way. What are the comments saying? This gotta be bullshit. This is 100% bullshit. Why are there 40 people? I'm not sure this person understands per capita. Okay, 30% of the SNAP Americans, this is 90% of households have at least one U.S. citizen. At least one. 51 are Muslim immigrants exploiting the system through COVID is not supported by COVID. Yeah, see, there's no way, bro. Like,
But the war is far from over. care what the socialist with a Nazi tattoo was saying in his town halls. In 2019, America was spending less than $70 billion.
Nah, there's no way. Like, he's full of shit. I don't believe this. This is literally a lie. Undocumented immigrants are not eligible for SNAP. It's not been issued even. Yeah, I'm sure I did probably, again, steal identities or something like that. There's no, dude, like, that's crazy, right? I mean, that is insane. Let's see here. He's trying to sue them. Oh, boy. What is this? There's more of these. People are just mad about.
You know what's cheaper? I don't care if I make it. But as an EBT mother, on a budget of $300 to $400, even when I only had $200, you know what's cheaper than a $3 pack of Little Debbie snacks? A 50-cent can of fucking green beans, okay? You know what's cheaper than 3 packs of soda? A bunch of cans of 50-cent cans of vegetables, okay? You know what's cheaper than $150 you spent on chips, sugar, soda, all of that shit?
What?
Buying a bunch of meat. Is the amount of snacks that you bought are enough to last you 2 weeks?
This is what my mom would do. We would go to Sam's Club, and she would only buy me snacks that she had trouble lifting the box. Because I said, can we get this? And she says, let me hold them. And she picks it up. She's like, nope, it's too light. Put it back.
But can you repeat
Meat that I
your
bought is enough to last me the entire month of November while I wait for food benefits to fix themselves.
Yeah.
You can stock up on pasta. You can stock up on staples, okay? Look at that. After buying all of this, to ensure that my children are having as less problematic food in their diet as possible.
Yeah.
Look at the money I have left over for snacks. We got cookies, we got baked cheddar, whatever the fuck these are, pretzels, a bag of fruit snacks, and saltine crackers. And you know what my children don't complain about? Mom, why can't we have cake and ice cream and sugar all the time? I don't give a crap. I don't think children should starve, but I don't think children should be being fed poisonous shit all the time because parents want to boo-boo over the fact that they're not willing to get their lives in order. And obviously I'm not talking about disabled. Obviously I'm not talking about elderly. And obviously I'm not talking about the parent that just lost her husband and now has Alzheimer's. Obviously I'm not talking about people who got raped and had to take care of a kid that was horrible.
Oh my God.
So don't make it into that. My children are so that I can let them have their whole house's bag of candy in their room, and they only limit themselves to a piece a day. They're not super dependent on sugar.
Wow.
They don't break down because I don't give them the bag of chips. It's all about how you raise your child. The raising your kid, one.
Jesus, man. Like, she's cooking. Oh my God. She lied? I mean, yeah, that's a good way to look at it, right? It is. And
Bitch money on my... And they get it wrong, bitch money on my mama. On my mama, bitch. Let me show you how to do it, hoe.
see, this is the reason, bro. This is the reason why everybody is getting tired of the fucking food stamps. They see people and...
You're snapping. Dear nieces and nephews, if a news station comes up to you and they want to interview about using your SNAP benefits, decline it. If I see you on a news station, I'm going to find you and we're going to have a good old come to Jesus moment with Auntie. They are using us. They want to make the narrative that black people are so worried about losing SNAP benefits, like literally.
Bro, this shit is all over Instagram. This is all over TikTok. Yes.
To get the most in SNAP benefits, and we're not fighting them out. And the people who are going to crack
about per capita, like, I mean, I think it probably has like a direct number. That's probably true.
Cash out when November 1st happens, and they can't swipe their card and it says insufficient funds on their cards, are going to be the white folk, not the black folk, because we used to struggle. We used to struggle. We used to going to the church and getting food. We used to having community and people having a garden and showing up and making sure that families don't go without. These other people ain't used to that. They're not about that life. So they're going to be the ones, not to say that we ain't going to hurt, but we know how to navigate these waters.
But, you know, that's the way it is. And let's see if I can find any more of these. But, yeah, not even SNAP benefits a necessity. People are using it, and are being cut and not even making bread from scratch. Damn, man. Like, it's just, getting 3K in EBT and I have 7 kids. Okay, we get one more.
Okay, guys, yes. I'm a mother of 7 kids. 7 kids. I had my first child at 14 years old. Yes, I had my first child at 14 years old. I do not regret it. He's well healthy. He's 19 right now. Yes, guys. I have 7 kids. 7 different baby dads. Yeah, 7 different baby dads. I heard it right here. 7 different baby dads. 7 shit. Had my first child at age 14. Yes, and I do receive 3K, 3,000 in EBT food stamps. Yes.
These people are doing, like, this is the thing, is like, people will see this video and they'll just want to turn off the food stamps. That's the thing, bro. People see this video and they just want to turn off the food stamps and say no. Yep.
We are happy where we're at in life right now. We are happy. Yes, we are happy. Yes.
14.
Haters, you know, we're gonna get jealous and all that. Y'all can keep y'all little comments. But at the end of the day, my kids are taken care of. That all that
7 fucking kids. Oh my God. And this is it. Federal food SNAP benefits. Yeah, there it is. But so it's time after a lot of MAGA folks realize this is what the party always about. I mean, this is it, man. This is it. People are losing their fucking mind. And
am I a bad person because I got a little smile on my face when I found out that 42% of the people that receive SNAP benefits are white people in red states?
Doesn't that mean that most of them are minorities, though? Like, what the hell's wrong with these people, bro? Like, where do they come from? Oh my God. Yeah, this is insane, man.
Check out this area.
You're gonna have to. Okay, y'all gonna want to hear this, because this is coming November 1st. If you are receiving SNAP EBT, by November 1st, you're gonna have to start working 80 hours a month just for you to collect your food stamps. So all that staying home, chilling, hanging out, it's time to wrap that shit up. Because now you gotta go to work. Okay? And this is not for the ones that are handicapped, you know, that can't work at all. This is for those young parents that are able to work, but they decide to stay home, be lazy, and collect food stamps and cash. Right? Taxpayers paying your rent and shit. But this is what's coming November 1st. Now, I don't know, is it because of the shutdown of the government? But I've been telling you guys that this is coming for a very long time. So now you guys got to get your ass up and go work.
Man.
And you can't complain. It's 80 hours a month. Okay? Not per week. A month. So you still get to chill. But now you still got to get up early in the morning. Take your ass to work. Work for a couple of hours.
See, this is the thing. This is what's been pissing people off so much, is they've been seeing these videos of these chicks with 7 kids, with 7 dads, get $3,000 a month, and they have this shit happen. Yeah, that's it, man. Yo, we gotta work part-time? Yeah, people lose their fucking minds about that.
It is what it is. I told you guys this shit was coming. And it's here. November 1st. So get ready. You heard it here first. Don't forget to follow, repost it, share it.
We got one more.
Employee of the school district, I only get paid once a month. By the time I get my bills paid, I have nothing left to pay for food and other basic needs. If it wasn't for SNAP benefits, I wouldn't be able to feed my children or myself. I work, pay my bills, and like every other mom, I want to be sure that I have enough food to put on the table.
Well, probably. Yeah. And so, she would have boarded it for.
If I knew this was the situation, y'all may call me cold-hearted for this. If I knew this was the situation that my children were going to have to grow up in, I would have aborted them as soon as I found out I was pregnant.
It's like some just. The only reason you had a kid is so you could farm this kid out for government money.
Impressive. But can you repeat your success?
Oh my God, bro! Like, what is going on? So, black people are threatening to eat white people. All right, I gotta.
I just want to come real fast just to make this video, just to make something very, very clear to
we got to watch this one, right?
the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government, in spite of what you may say.
Get to the
and what you kind of force us to
I want to hear the
So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you the delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen. Shutdown to finally come from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paid what we really need to be doing is taking care of one another, buying land, and growing our food, and building our own nation, and this shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take. Then let the party begin. It's Black Power, baby. And
You are of no use.
I would that. I will eat my neighbors. I'm not letting my kids die.
Oh, wow. Yeah, there it is. Oh my God, bro. Is this what it's come to? This is where we're at now. This is it. And as I said, we will eat y'all like damn. And she wasn't even talking about that metaphorically, man. She would get there and she was getting into the details. She was getting into the details on that. Like, damn, what the hell? What the fuck, bro? Like, don't resort to capitalism from the beginning of that. I guess, right? Like, oh my God, 90 million people as the restrictions narrowing, which non-citizens can actually, refugees will be first to lose food stamps? Yes. We got people that can't afford food now. The thing is, like, every refugee that's on food stamps is a middle-class citizen that's not. And I would rather get rid of all of them and then get the middle-class citizens that are just barely getting by without food stamps, give them food stamps so they can live with a degree of luxury, right? That's me. I say get them the fuck out. That'd be the way I do it. Refugees are not illegals, though? Get them out either way. Like, I don't care what this is like, change the rule. Change the rule. If the rule is working against you, then it's not a good rule, Howard. And so that's it.
Alas, a champion has fallen.
What's wrong with these people?
False narrative, really? No, dude. People talked about the factual stuff that was going on in the board.
Yeah,
no one needs to like make up a false.
Like, it's not. Was it a false narrative that you put the pronouns next to the character selector? Who asked you to do that? Was that Photoshop? Like, what is this?
The game was off.
It was the false
for a lot of
narrative.
reasons. As greatly discussed. Here's what they say about the
Well,
data.
it's like you look at like Overwatch 2, you look at Marvel Rivals, and both of these are just better hero shooters. They're just better. So why? Like, I mean, really, people look for anything that they can blame other than themselves.
We were excited.
Robot had yeah,
but
there's
the
a
public
robot that has pronouns.
I thought people were just harsh during the reveal trailer.
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? There's things we need to work on, but it's okay. Once people touch the game, it's going to change things.
Nah. People got to get over this. This is the way I see it. They say don't judge a book by its cover. I say if you can't even get your cover in order, you probably don't know what the fuck you're doing with your book. That's just the way I see it. You can't even figure out a cover.
And then the beta numbers dropped, and numbers were not what we were expecting. And I think our mindset started shifting to things could go really bad.
Things could go
If I
really,
recall, the beta had like what, a peak player count around 1,400, I think.
Yeah. So it was closer to 2,000, but it could have been 1,400. So I remember all the games journalists when Concord came out, they're like, "Wait, there's no way it actually. Wait, what do you mean it's only 1,000 people playing? Wait, what? What do you mean nobody wants to play the game?" And so what was even funnier is that people said that, oh, well, it's because the game was a paid game and was competing against Overwatch that was a free game. Concord did a free beta weekend after they did the paid beta weekend. And the free beta weekend did even worse than the paid one. That means that people that paid real money for the game, the majority of those people didn't even come back to play it for free. Yep.
Well, not for free. I'm going to check that. Okay, so it was actually 188, which is obviously still okay. So you guys continue talking about the beta. Saying it made news for how poorly the beta did. Like people.
Who would do something? Oh no. No.
For the show out the insight to like hear about our game and how negatively it was doing instead of like hearing what the game was about. People heard about our game and just how poorly it did, but people didn't hear about what the game was or even really tried. There was no shortage of news articles, YouTube videos, and hate on the internet about how poor the numbers were.
How many people have been complaining about me today? I feel like I've spent half of my stream today reacting to people that are complaining about me. It's probably better. I'm probably below par, to be honest with you. Like, this has been crazy. How many, like, I'm and also, like, my favorite part about it is that I'm always indirectly named. These devs don't get it. Yeah, it's sad, man. It really is.
So it's pretty apparent. You got to think. They're really trying to say that people in this field know what the game was. Yeah, we did. What the frick? Dude, the code was crazy. From there, they talked about perception. The most frustrating part about it to me was people had made up their mind about the game, and I felt like I mean, this is more our fault than theirs, but we did a bad job of communicating what we're trying to do.
Okay. I understand. Please explain to me why a robot is coming. I'm all ears. I'm ready to hear. Why does a garbage can come back?
And I felt like there was such a disconnect. Like, if I could sit down...
Pronouns are on and off.
With any individual that said something bad about the game and plead our case, I could convince them 100% to be on board with the game. It's just, we did a terrible job of appealing to a massive gamer, and it didn't go too well. I guess I'll give this statement a little bit of credit for having like a tiny shred of accountability, at least compared to the other stuff that these devs were saying. But this is still very delusional, because for his robot are actually binary.
You know what the funny thing is that the robot was a data. So the only thing that actually was guaranteed scientifically binary was non-binary in this game. This is like multiple different, this is like an Inception retardation. It's like, wait a minute, you thought this was stupid? Oh no, wait a minute, it's even dumber. Oh my god, wait, what? What is it?
The only issue with Concord was the communication. We just didn't explain this well enough.
Yeah.
No, there were a lot of problems.
It got explained too well. I think that's the real problem.
I'm not going to list all the problems again, because like we covered that extensively. So many people have done a great job covering that extensively.
Like me. Talking about me.
It seems far too redundant. Obviously, with all that here, I'm sure everyone watching this video probably knows the numerous issues with Concord. So let's just keep going to the next statement. And this one returns to the very whiny style that we've been seeing. it's just weird that there is this audience who's just constantly wanting to be excited that something fails.
That's correct, because people like me see games like Concord and we look at it as glorified, leftist, weird gender ideology propaganda. And I don't even want to slander leftists with this. These are mentally ill, gender-confused weirdos that are trying to insert this into every single video game and facet of culture that they possibly can. It's not leftists, they're retards. Absolute fucking retards. And they're obnoxious. So whenever I see something from a person like that fail, of course I'm going to be happy about it, because it means that the market has voted against garbage. It means that I won't see another game like this probably ever again. And that's why I'm happy.
Funny enough, most of them directing out gender confused are straight. I don't know. I'm just saying example. But the reality of it is, we're just looking at our keyboard and we're like, oh, no job today. There's like a joke right of, I don't know, oh, big game failed. And like, that's awesome. We got to see something crash and burn. And like,
that's correct. I like seeing things that represent things that I hate fail. That's correct.
May be as eternal as
whenever something that I hate fails, I'm happy.
Slice and dice. Do not succumb to the chaos.
Kind of great. That's really cool. To be a part of that process, really using a bandwagon on that. Like, well, we're punching up and not really taking into consideration, like, well, we're punching up to that. But then
even inside of them, you're still captured by this retarded logic. Punching up? Nobody cares about punching up or punching down. You just don't want to see it. Even inside of this, they're still captured by their own ideological, fucking cage.
People that work really hard on it are not really cognizant of the blood that people work on the game, obviously. It doesn't mean that they're free from criticism. Make a bad product, people are allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're limited to only talking about the product itself. People are allowed to talk about the team that developed it.
Everybody is allowed to have an opinion on anything that they want. Now, you might disagree with that opinion, but the free marketplace of ideas should decide what lives and what dies. Not your top-down, this is for the greater good and it's better for everybody if, oh, coincidentally, all the things that I liked happen. Oh, wow, okay, that's easy.
Product, ways that they could have done better, things that they did wrong. Here's what the devs have to say about working environment. I know I felt like I was running this battle I didn't understand that.
Well?
I was ecstatic when the teaser was revealed. I missed it immensely. All of us interviewing and talking to other companies, I want to bring my whole...
Do you guys think that I've made more money from talking about Concord than Concord made?
The champion has fallen.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Team there. They always ask me if they were refunded. I'm saying if they didn't the opposite, right? But yeah, this is fun. Why did I like working at the studio so much? And it was like, I really just enjoyed the team, the people.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I get that.
Kind to each other. If someone had a bad day, people would be super supportive and be like, go ahead, take the time. If you're not feeling good, just go home.
They should say, suck it up, Buttercup. Too fucking bad. The game that we have right now is garbage. And like, you know what? Maybe we need a little bit of a toxic work environment. Maybe, you know what? No, it's not okay for you to take your third self-care day because your cat died 3 years ago and you've been having PTSD from it, so you can't animate the new character. No, we don't care. No, sit down to your fucking desk and animate the cat. Too bad, it doesn't matter. Yeah, suck it. Yeah, really? Like, exactly, yeah. Coddling only hinders growth. Yeah. It's crunch time. Exactly. Toxic positivity.
this is the first studio where I felt equal and treated right. Not only is everyone super talented, but also everyone was...
Well, there we go.
That's really nice. It's a dream lab when I go into the room bathroom and not only filled with feminine hygiene products, but also there's shit there. And it's like, oh, I have to share a bathroom with other women. And they're all like, what a restaurant. You can get the whole place to yourself.
Fought well, but the war is far from over.
Hell yeah. So, let me get this straight. Y'all was sitting around doing fucking nothing, running group therapy sessions on each other, spending your shift in the bathroom, talking to each other, and you're surprised that the game was bad. Y'all didn't do shit, bro. Like, this is what we used to do. I used to do this shit back. I remember I had American Sign Language. The only one I know how to, I can sign water. That's water. You know why? Because I needed to sign water to the teacher so I could walk out and go get water for 20 minutes. That was it. So these people spent 70, this is like, you thought therapy was expensive. This therapy costs $400 million. Sign language? Yeah, ASL, American Sign Language.
You know what's really funny is how shortly after Concord released and we were in the news cycle of its massive failure, there were some people coming out saying that the Concord devs, you know, Firewalk overall, that they have this culture of toxic positivity. Some sources have spoken to claim that head of the same mentality carried over from the studio. Essentially,
Bungie is doing really bad.
The game will come together because the team was too good to fail. Seems like we're
gotta respect the hustle. This is 7 years of getting paid for nothing. You know what? Now that if I reorient my brain, I think about it in that way, that this is the most successful gift. These people spent 7 years bumping around, sitting in the women's bathroom, giving each other therapy sessions, and not doing anything. There's a company that does respect it. Like, actually, you're in 7 years of adult daycare. Yeah.
More of that attitude displayed in King and Louisville thread. We've got one more thing to take a look at here. It's pretty funny. Something else funny too is how the user on Reset Era that posted this quote went on to say about all of it. On all public accounts, it sounds like Firewall was the most terrible studio to work at. Full of highly
I bet it was great. You didn't have to do anything. I felt the same way about high school. Yeah, I didn't do anything. It was great. I didn't learn anything either. But I didn't do anything. I had a lot of fun.
People, but marketing and completely screwed it over. This team absolutely did not deserve to be treated the way they were. I really hope people listen to it. One last quote like that shows how passionate this team was. Look at that quote right here. Gravity, responding to action, says, "You want people to know you worked on it?" Gravity says, "Yeah, and I want them to subscribe. I'm happy with it. That's what I want. We were proud, regardless of how we put out a good game."
Whatever you say. Hey, whatever you if you need to tell yourself that, if you need another personal day, that's all right.
I mean, this is really fun from the devs trying to act like they put out a good game here. Just not even saying that they put out a good game is a crazy take. These people have no experience, and they just don't seem like they'll ever grow here. To the Reset Era user who's actually finding acting like these people are so talented, they're so hardworking and talented, and trying to put all this marketing and management. What a freaking game.
It looks like I played like garbage. I didn't play the game with obviously just look at it and it's trash. Like this entire idea that like people need to give you $6 to figure out whether we're gonna waste their money or not is ridiculous. Like
Like, you look at Elden Ring, the game immediately looks awesome. You look at a lot of games, the game immediately looks awesome. Like, if you can't even figure out how to make your game appealing at a surface level, what the fuck is the probability that you're going to be able to make your game look good as an actual video game with any depth? Well, I know it's not good. It's zero. You're not going to do it. So a good game doesn't need good marketing? Yes, good games don't need marketing. Bad games don't. Now, good games can have a force multiplier with marketing, but you cannot market your way out of a bad game. I'll give you some examples. Suicide Squad, Overdose, Concord. I think those are the first two that come along. Yeah. No, and this is to be expected from all of these modern audience types. Marathon, just great example. Start something built on first page of that says, when you mess things up and blame marketing and and that person actually got a warning from the moderator. Probably drive-by posting. What the fuck does that even mean? Just say you don't like the comment. You don't have to invent a new fucking term for it. This is one of the only comments in the entire thread that's actually not found in the moderator. Of course, yeah, that is also yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my coverage. I had fun making this video, despite how pathetic it was. It was certainly a new funny thing with that. The gift that keeps on giving. Like I said, hoping for Twitter, hearing about the comments. And as always, thank you so much. Well, hey, so I've got to say that I really appreciate them wanting to stand by Concord and be proud of the fact that they made the game, because that means that they will self-report, and any self-respecting game studio will know that ahead of time, and so they won't hire them. That's it. Stop drive-by streaming. Somebody's got to, right? Why they hate Pokemon? A lot of reasons. Yep. I think they're all real. Yep, I can see chat. Yep. Chat loves it. They know they're real.
For the black speaks the most all majesty heard in every corner of the world.
Agavanian, over 1 million men and women of the West and the 40% who haven't subscribed yet. Not a year goes by without some hack writer from the academic.
Oh, God. Are you kidding me? This is pretty good.
A champion has fallen.
Academic attacking our beloved Professor John Ronald Rule Tolkien. And this year is no different from the Telegraph. Students shall not pass unless they accept Lord of the Rings is offensive. University Press suggests Tolkien's treatment of evil characters follows a tradition of anti-African antipathy.
That's why is it that the evil characters are being associated with Africans? Like, I feel like that's a bit of a stretch, right? What the hell is that from?
Triple H doing me. Generally, academics and activists, I don't know the difference between the two, so we'll just...
How do you watch the Rock High and the Lords and be like, oh, I know who this reminds me of. They're the ones that are the racists. How do you do that?
Your success.
You gotta be out of your fucking mind.
People who don't like to have fun and people who are no fun to be around hate Lord of the Rings. And the attacks on Tolkien go back to the times when he was alive. But in recent times, it was made demonstrably worse by Amazon. You know, the company that started out selling books? Yeah. When its owner, Jeff Bezos, decided he wanted to make his own Game of Thrones and bought Lord of the Rings, which is funny because right now, Game of Thrones, along with Harry Potter, DC Comics, and the core part of Lord of the Rings that Jeff Bezos actually wants is potentially for sale. Anyway, Jeff Bezos is the Rings of Power, you know, the billion-dollar disaster and failure that's basically a vanity project right now, gave the activists absolutely...
I'm surprised that they're still making
everything they wanted. Unfortunately, there weren't enough of them to watch, but it did stir the conversation back up again. 5 years ago, I made a video called They Are Coming for Lord of the Rings. It was a simple warning that the same thing we've seen happen to Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who is going to happen to the Professor's secondary world, because the activists...
The reason why is because they want to get inside of these pieces of media and then change them and reshape them to make them reinforce the way they see the world. That's the reason why all this media keeps getting changed. And it gets changed in like fundamental ways because these people want it to mean fundamentally different things. That's the reason why.
Have been circling this mythology for a long time, and once they sunk their teeth into it with the help of their Hollywood corporate overlords, if anyone didn't like it, well, they were the problem. Particularly the readers of Tolkien who wanted to see the Professor's work adapted authentically. And in their infinite wisdom, the creators of this show decided to make the fans of Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, and all the works of Professor Tolkien the enemy. Responding to the backlash they absolutely knew they were going to get, Rings of Power producer and Bad Reboot Reject Lindsay Weber famously said, "It felt only natural to us that an adaptation of Tolkien's work would reflect what the world truly looks like."
But it's not the world. See, like, in my opinion, as soon as I hear something like that, I immediately assume that the media is going to be garbage. Because you at this point have now put your, like, viewpoints and your, like, social ideology, you have decided to elevate that above the source material. And what I think that really shows is it's a profound lack of disrespect, it's a profound disrespect of the source material. You don't really care about making it authentic. You don't care about doing it the right way. You care about making it in line with what your viewpoints are. You see what I'm saying? So anytime that you see anything, anytime that you see any even slight amount of like something you could consider DBI in something, you should automatically assume that it's going to be garbage. Because a lot of the things like that that are added in for a DBI reason, fundamentally what that tells you is that they don't actually respect the source material enough to adapt it properly. Now, I'm not saying every single thing that's had a DEI thing in it is bad, but I think the correlation's pretty fucking strong.
Go back to the book, go back to the book, go back to the book.
Yeah.
Ignoring the fact that Amazon paid $250 million to get access to a built-in audience that really enjoyed a world meticulously built by J.R.R. Tolkien and what he thought it actually looked like. Showrunners J.D. Payne and Patrick McKay also responded to the backlash, called the fans patently evil.
The fans are patently evil? Well, wait a minute. I don't understand this. So the orcs aren't evil, but the fans are? What the fuck happened? It's insane. Yes, really? What is... I don't even know what to say.
Evil Two-Dwarf of Color actress Sophia Namvetti stating that her role and the Rings of Power are a necessary redress of balance in Tolkien.
Everyone was cast because they were the absolute best person for the role, and to be part of a redress of balance within this world.
I don't think they're getting this out. Nobody that wanted to watch Lord of the Rings, actually was a fan of the show, wanted to have it recast for racial reasons, for like current day racial reasons. Nobody was asking. Nobody wanted this. Nobody needed this. I don't know, like, where they get this idea that this is something that the people wanted. That nobody wanted this at all. Like, nobody was asking for this. Do you think Jeff DeSantis and Brian Gosling was cast as some Nubian king? I don't know. I mean, I think that in general, if you're doing a race swap for a character, you're probably doing it for a reason that doesn't have to do with the quality of the character or the quality of the actor. Like, for example, if you have like a really good actress or a really good actor race swapping a character, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Like, I think that, like, for The Witcher, for example, they have Florence Fishburne playing Regis. who is like one of the vampires in Witcher 3. And I don't really care about that. That's fine because he's really good acting. But in terms of like just bringing on random people just to play this role, I think that's the issue.
And the rest is first person, by all accounts. Yeah. The subversive work that is the Rings of Power. Critically canceled, but the only reason it's still around is so Jeff Bezos won't be embarrassed. I would hope continuing to make it is more embarrassing. And of course, there's all the Access Media articles and academic research from racially stereotyping in the works of Tolkien to a new Lord of the Rings prequel quietly confronts an uncomfortable legacy. How Amazon's The Rings of Power prequel grapples with the deeply ingrained ideas of racial difference and racial determinism in J.R.R. Tolkien's world.
Or people are professional problem havers. That's all they do is they find problems with things, they complain about shit, they get mad about it, and the worst part is that the world is supposed to pretend like they care. It's insane.
The infamous
Dear Tolkien fans, black people exist? Okay.
Tolkien fans, black people exist. And who can forget this book published in 2022, Tolkien, Race, and Racism in Middle-earth by Robert Stewart? Well, apparently everybody
See,
forgot
this is
it.
the problem these people have, and this is the reason why I think so many people are, like, I think becoming more racist, is because they've wanted to put these viewpoints and these values in every single aspect of life, every single thing. They want to, like, go back and retroactively apply their current worldview to media that was, like, you know, 50 or 100 years old, right? Like, that's the issue. It's that, like, you can't do that, and you can't force everybody to think the way that you want and then expect there's not going to be a huge pushback.
About it, considering it only has 3 reviews on Amazon and it's sitting at a 2.6 and it costs $93.43.
Well, this is what I think is kind of funny about it, is that the entire this entire apparatus of people that are bringing up these topics, it's actually like nobody. Like, nobody actually cares about this stuff at all. It's just artificially astroturfed in order for people to think that this is a problem. But average people don't care about this, and they never did.
Considering it only has 3 reviews on Amazon and it's sitting at a 2.6 and it costs $93.43. Or going back to 2002 from The Guardian, Race and Race. What with the dark skin, broad faces, and dreadlocks, it's a wonder Tolkien didn't give his baddies a natural sense of rhythm, says John Yes, examining Middle-earth suspect racial undertones, where he's
Suspect racial undertones, bro. And I think the problem is that a lot of people don't really know how to deal with this. The way that you deal with this is you just tell them to shut the fuck up and you don't care. That's the way you deal with it. And the moment that you capitulate to these people, because you have to understand that these people are not your target audience. They don't care about the music. They don't care about whether it does well or not. They don't care about whether it's successful. They don't care about whether it's true form to like what the original text is. The only thing that they care about is that it is, you know, congruent with what their world is. And you should never listen to them because they don't actually care about the product. They only care about what the product does for them.
States multiple paragraphs down, perhaps I better come out and say it. The Lord of the Rings is racist. So this is nothing new under the 2 lamps, the 2 trees, or the sun of article. This one takes it a step further because it's an actual course at the University of Nottingham. And that course comes off as an exploration of the actions of Robin Hood from the perspective of the Sheriff of Nottingham. Once again, from the Telegram, and you got to give a little credit here on this headline. Students shall not pass unless they accept Lord of the Rings. Or suggest Tolkien's treatment of evil characters follows a tradition of anti-African antipathy.
The first thing that I think of whenever I see Sauron is like, I guess Tolkien must be racist.
A university is teaching students that J.R.R. Tolkien humanizes people of color in the Lord of the Rings books. A history module called Decolonizing Tolkien and Others taught them.
Anytime that I see the word colonize used anywhere, basically, I just automatically assume that the person is the I do. I pretty much instantly assume that. Like if you're complaining about colonizing or decolonizing, you're even, it's like it's one of those retard words. Now, this is not a 100%, right? Sometimes we use the term and it makes sense. But it's very, very
You're not you that says orcs and other dark-skinned characters of mythology are the victims of historian and writer who leads the module, supports the narrative that medieval England had towns and cities as diverse as modern London, which is absurd, argues that eastern races in the fictional realm of Middle Earth are depicted as evil, while fair-skinned peoples of the West are shown as virtuous.
When you're a hammer, every brother looks like a nail. This is what people like that do. Their entire career is built around trying to identify these things and getting upset about them. It really is insane. Someone trying to create a lot of yeah, that's because that's what he's doing. Nobody wants to tell this guy that he's wrong. And so they just let it happen.
Except for all the fair-skinned peoples who weren't so virtuous, like dwarves who were not evil but to be famous assholes.
They're assholes, they're selfish.
Like the medieval trade good, or the dwarves that killed Bingo, and you actually fight what Amazon in their case kills this about generally considered fair yet bloody. And as far as elves, they're more they're not like only good. There's Feanor, whose actions led to the burning of the Shithouse, and the Kinslaying, which was the first time elves killed other elves. The sons of Feanor, who killed a lot of elves, or Meglin, who betrayed Gondolin to Morgoth. Then there's the men of the West, the Ravens, thought maybe with the Númenóreans, who were sacrificing humans to Morgoth, the black Númenóreans, and no, they weren't black. And they were deeply oppressive rulers of realms like Umbar and Harad. It's simply,
I think a lot of these people are just like really dumb, and the only way that they can understand conflicts is if they look at it through modern lenses. And that's the reason why they have these problems and why they keep seeing these issues, is that they're basically people that, took AP English in 12th grade and learned to try to see everything as a metaphor for something else. In my opinion, I think it's just such a stupid way of doing it, number one. Number two, I think it's also something that makes stupid people feel smart. So you have a lot of people out there who are doing it. That's it. They hate everything bad. Or, yeah, I guess so, right? Everything somehow has to relate to the real world. Yes, exactly.
Black and white. There was a lot of moral complexity because these were not every fair-skinned character was virtuous. And that's just scratching the surface. Now, obviously, I'm no cultural scholar, but also someone who is a fair-skinned character of any times as a college. Like, it's anybody that knows the source material knows this is the target. But we all know this is the target. But, again, this is just what happened. For experts, I'm just a fan, but imagine a real scholar or even a hardcore lorehead took this clown's course at Epolaria in reference to decolonizing Tolkien and academia. Decolonize usually means re-examining or moving away from
anti-white, anti-Western viewpoints, basically, or deconstructing, why white people or Western culture is a problem or something. That's what decolonizing is. But 99% of the time.
From white Western
just racism. Yeah.
So let me get this straight, Doctor. You want to move away.
It's an academic term for racism.
From the white Western viewpoint of Professor John Ronald Reuel Tolkien, an Englishman who wanted to write a mythology for England from his English viewpoint. I mean, by all means, move away from it. But why would you want to waste your time doing that? Well, because it's not about re-examining or decolonizing. It's about deconstructing, to state the obvious, because somehow the academics got it in their brains that you can fight discrimination with discrimination. But it doesn't end there. In the module's core text, Dr. Onyeka writes that maligned peoples include Easterlings, Southrons, and men from Harad. The trilogy also features the dark-skinned orcs, evil creatures that do the bidding of Sauron, known as the Dark Lord. Now, the article says...
That's true. Yeah, they do.
The trilogy, and I certainly hope you're not talking about the Peter Jackson films as much as they are the greatest trilogy ever made, they are not the most accurate adaptation of the professor's work. So are you just focusing on the Lord of the Rings books, leaving out The Hobbit, The Silmarillion, The Children of Hurin, The Fall of Gondolin, The Lost Tales, etc.? Yes, armies of Easterlings and Harad fought for Sauron, and yes, their complexions matched the regions they lived in because Tolkien accounted for that. You know who also fought for Sauron? The aforementioned fair race of the Númenóreans, some of whom became the Nazgul. But as far as orcs are concerned, they're creatures who are humanoid, but not human, with mostly sallow skin, so I don't care what background.
Yeah, they have like green and like, you know, like weird ass skin. Like, what do you mean? It's not a fucking, it's not the same thing at all. Tolkien's personal writings show him to be against apartheid and definitely not racist. I mean, again, I think that just the implication of this is ridiculous.
You're from. If you see them as black people, you told on yourself. The orcs slash goblins were created by Morgoth slash Melkor as a mockery of the elves, who were created along with everything else by the one true god Eru Ilúvatar, who are described by J.R.R. Tolkien in the often cited for multiple reasons Letter 210, a letter discussing a film treatment to Forrest J. Ackerman. They are or were squat, broad, flat-nosed, sallow-skinned with wide mouths and slant eyes. In fact, degraded and repulsive versions of the two Europeans' least lovely Mongol types. Now, the important bit there before he says Mongols is two Europeans. That is,
the permanently offended people are projecting their own prejudices into materials that don't have anything to do with it. Well, they're also just trying to force their ideology into every form of popular media. It's like, I think a really good example of it is, do you remember like a couple of days ago whenever the Homeland Security account was tweeting out Halo memes about, you know, destroying the flood, and then it said join ICE? Well, that's what I think a lot of conservative people have had to deal with, listening to every single piece of media be a metaphor for why capitalism is bad, why men are stupid, or why Western culture is wrong. And so, like, now you can see how annoying it is. Now you can see why people didn't like it. Reddit did not like that? Yeah, of course. And it's because they're not doing it. Straight up racist? Nah, it's not racist. What's racist about it? Nothing.
In acknowledging that that wasn't probably the nicest thing. So if anybody has a beef, it's the Asians. But if we're going to be judging things from history and we're going to say Mongol, that would be from Mongolia, say Genghis Khan, which means about 0.5% of the male population of planet Earth could be offended by that remark.
Problem with it is,
It's a lot of them.
It's a big murderer.
He was quite
I
murderous,
suppose he was a bit murderous. He did 34 million. There's another problem as well.
That's a lot of people.